Alright, my brothers and sisters, we back up in here with part 2 regarding YouTube exposed. There are two negative source manipulations stopping the growth of my channels. So if you haven't seen the first part of this teaching, I suggest you go back to the first part to get the full overview of what I'm talking about. So let me continue and bring this to a conclusion. So as I was saying before, my brothers and sisters, I posted a video, Glitch in the Matrix. Let me show, hold up a second. Glitch in the Matrix, why do you see the same number sequences repeated of 11111 all the way to 9999? A full numerological mathematical breakdown in why you see those number sequences. That was done in that teaching on the day of Tuesday, which represents 2. February represents 2. 22 is the day. Year is the 22. And like I mentioned before, this is the same day they put me on lockdown for 2 strongs, gave me 2 strikes. See all those 2s? Does that sound like coincidence? No such thing, right? And another thing, brothers and sisters, my given name, as where I left off in the previous video of the first part, my name, when we do the numerological mathematical breakdown of my name, which is Nathan, which means provider and giver, in the Abrit language, the Hebrew tongue, Lashwam HaKodash, however you want to call it, it means provider and giver, Natan, Nathan. So essentially when you do the numerological breakdown of Nathan, it means it essentially breaks down to the number sequences of 22. So I hope you're following me so far. All these 2s are being mentioned in so many repeated sequences, like crazy. So let's move forward. So in saying all of this, brothers and sisters, what does 2 represent in numerology? Well, let me tell you generally what 2 represents in numerology. 2 represents duality, polarity, teamwork, cooperation, unity, peace, harmony, serenity, tranquility. That's what 2 generally represents. There is a light side meaning and there's a shadow side meaning of words and of numbers. When we go to the shadow side of the number 2, it could also be seen as division, rivalry, competition. Take note of that. So let me move on further. It also represents relationships, balance. Let me pull it up and pull up my screen here. So it could also represent selflessness, relationship, and balance. The number 22 represents double the amount of energy. Additionally, this angel number has a strong relationship to emotions, intuition, and idealism. These are the only few of its many. These are only a few of its many attributes. Furthermore, number 22 symbolizes the principle of accuracy in every aspect of life, combined with a much needed principle of balance. This number can turn. So it focuses on principle of balance and accuracy. And what is the truth? The truth is accurate. It is absolute. Interesting, right? Keep in mind, the name that I was given, Nathan, breaks down to 22. It also means giver and provider. And what do I do on a consistent basis? Provide knowledge and wisdom, knowledge of self, brothers and sisters. So let us move forward. The energy that number 22 possesses is similar to the number 2. It's deeply related to many positive things like harmony, adaptability, evolution, and expansion. Take highlighted note to that. And pertain this to what YouTube is trying to do. Behind the scenes in their code, they're manipulating the power of numbers, and they're trying to use it for my detriment. So based on what we just highlighted here, what YouTube is trying to do to my channel is to prevent the evolution and expansion, the growth. I've shown you through many videos that you could review on this channel and my other channel how YouTube, and I did this live. I did it live several times. How they suppress, manipulate, and take away views, take away likes on my channel. I've done several videos on this, exposing them. Isn't that interesting? So when we look at the shadow side of 2, which I mentioned earlier, which represents rivalry, competition, and division in some respects, because the opposite of cooperation and teamwork is dividing the team. Dividing the team. Think. This is all planned and set up, brothers and sisters, to stop truth speakers, especially myself. So let's move forward. So there's another meaning behind all these 2s. I'm going to focus on the 2s that represent how I had things set. Tuesday, on the day of Tuesday, which represents 2, the month, February, represents 2, the day of 22, which is a double 2, and has a hidden 2 after the womb of 0, right? But I'm just going to stick to the 22 because I'm going to discuss that breakdown as well. But I'm going to stick to the main ones here. So the day was 22, the year is 22. They put my channel in lockdown for 2 weeks, 2 strongs, based on 2 strikes on the channel. So how many 2s is that? 8, right? So based on that, there's 8 digits of 8. Based on those primal 2s that we're dealing with. So when we look at the number 8, what is the meaning of 8? So YouTube, in all that day, the main focus on that day specifically, is based on 8 2s. Outside of the additional 2s that I was going to perform on. As I mentioned, 2 p.m. I was going to post this video live and come on live to 22 p.m. on that day, which I was prevented from doing. So those 2s were divided and negated from happening completely. because YouTube put my channel on lockdown. So that's why I'm leaving those 2s out. But before they removed 2 of my channels. 2. But I'm focusing on the main 2s, which is 8 2s in one day, in which they manipulated, in a sense. So when we look at the hidden meaning, so that's 8 digits of 2. So when you look at the meaning of 8 in numerology, the significance of the number 8 should not be overlooked. It represents professionalism, material freedom, affluence, and self-confidence are all related to the number 8 numerologically. But that's not all. The number 8 is also associated with compassion, freedom, and self-reliance. And that describes me to a T. So there's hidden meanings and hidden information right there. But there's another thing you got to see, brothers and sisters. We also know, celestially, cosmically, number 8 represents the infinity symbol, the eternity symbol, right? Terrestrially, in this earth plane, 8 also represents abundance, prosperity, and well-being. That correlates with eternity and infinity because it's a mass. It's mass expansion and mass time. So abundance is a lot. Prosperity is well-being in a lot. So you see how the connection there, the law of correspondence, how it connects. The numerological number power connects with what I'm saying in the meaning. So as I was breaking down before, YouTube, as it says in the title, YouTube is using the negative shadow side of the number 2 to create division by dividing and preventing my expansion and growth through the numbers of 2. Remember, brothers and sisters, as I bring all these 2s to you, we've just covered all these 2s. So I'm going to go over it briefly one more time and I'm going to put this to conclusion. Briefly one more time, I'm going to put this to conclusion. I'm going to show you this part, this brief part here. I'm showing you here. My numerological based, my name in numerology, when you break it down and you see how they calculate it here, my growth number is 22. That's my given name. So brothers and sisters, do you think this is pseudoscience? No. You're seeing a live example. Evidence, proof, and receipts that what I am seeing would happen to me on that powerful 2 repeated number sequence day. You're seeing what I see. This cannot be coincidence. There's no such thing as a coincidence. I shatter coincidence. They know who I am. The name Nathan has 6 letters, 4 consonants, and 2 vowels. Consonants is N-T-H-N, vowels A-A. When you do the math on this, numerologically, it adds to 22. That's the growth number in this name. And generally, based on that information alone, 22s represent a visionary, successful, leader, innovator, genius, supreme natural intelligence, intel in genes and genetics. When you are a genius, that means your genes have intelligence and information that is higher than the average, higher than the rest. Numbers don't lie, brothers and sisters. Number 22 represents generally visionaries, successful people, leaders, innovative people, and geniuses. Obviously my numbers encompass more than this, but this is just focusing on one attribute, my name, my given name. If I go on my date of birth and all of that, it's just going to go further and further. And my date of birth adds up to 8 as well when you do the math on that. My life path number is number 8 based on my date of birth and all of that, which represents what? Ambitious, successful, realistic, powerful. Highlight that. Remember, 8 represents infinity and eternity, abundance and prosperity, wealth, health, ambition, ambitious, successful, realistic, powerful. Realistic is dealing with truth. Being real, being genuine, being practical. Not just talking out the mouth with thoughts and opinions and theories. We're focusing on actions and results. Realistic. Powerful. That's what eternity and infinity represents, is all powerful, almighty, all powerful. Authoritative. Courageous. I'm speaking the fire of truth amongst a people that are scared and running. They're scared to speak. And I'm speaking. Most are scared to talk what they want to say. I'm not. Leader. Numbers don't lie, brothers and sisters. The math don't lie. And there's many other numbers that add to my attributes, but I'm just going to leave that here. I want to focus on the main points here. I think we got through that, so let's move on. So to bring this whole thing to a conclusion, my brothers and sisters, based on telling you all this information, ultimately, YouTube wants to stop the truth speakers. The people that are speaking knowledge of self, truth, and information and intelligence that goes against their narrative. They censor, suppress, and manipulate their stats. In the negative side of it, blacklist and shadow ban those people like myself, which I'm one of the true speakers who sit on the vanguard of everything. They don't want the masses to see and hear what I'm talking about because they know how powerful my information is. That's why they make every extended effort to put me to a stop. And there's no debating, there's no refuting, and there's no stopping this. The numbers don't lie. I've shown you in full effect today, brothers and sisters, on these 2 parts. Part 1 and 2. So I'm going to remind you again. All these 2s that took place. Previously, YouTube removed my original channels of Supreme Natural Intelligence and the Fire Truth S.N.I. Those are 2 channels removed. On top of it, on the day of Tuesday, which is 2 February 2, the day 22, the year 22, they put me on lockdown with 2 strikes, 2, for 2 weeks, 2. My given name is Nathan, 22. Brothers and sisters, these social media platforms, the hidden hand, the unseen hand, the shadow government, the shadow powers know exactly what they're doing. And they know the occult information of numbers and sacred geometry, symbols. They know how to manipulate it in their favor. These people don't play fair, brothers and sisters. It's very clear. They do everything in their power to stop the truth from getting out. And they're willing to do anything. They're willing to cheat. They're willing to defy their own community guidelines, go against their own community guidelines to not be honorable, to not be righteous. If they see that you have powerful information and truth, they're gonna go against it. This equality stops with truth speakers. No, we got to stop these guys from getting information out. That all ends there. So you do not believe these social media platforms, brothers and sisters. I've exposed them thoroughly. And I'm going to be continuing to do that. With receipts, with proof, with evidence. This is not allegation. This is not slander. I'm showing you evidence. Using the science of numerology today to back me up as well. Showing you the light side of 2, the light side meaning of 2, and the dark side meaning of 2. I've broken it down. And what YouTube done is use the negative side, the negative shadow side of 2, to create division and to stop the growth and expansion, which 2 represents as well. Cooperation, teamwork, unity. But 2 also represents duality, polarity. Keep that in mind. Do your research, brothers and sisters. This is their agenda right here, brothers and sisters. This is their ultimate agenda right here. The most effective way to destroy people is to deny and obliterate their own understanding of their own history. Think about that. Be seasoned, be spiced, and marinated in this fire of truth. This is what they've been doing for many years to make you forget what they've done in the past. Every single time you forget. Because they're keeping you distracted in deceptions and lies. The most effective way is to destroy a people's history, is to deny and obliterate their own understanding of their history. That's what they have done with me specifically and other truth speakers, going against their mass media brainwashing programming narrative as it pertains to the pandemic and various other situations that's going on in the world. And education and information in general. People who go against their mass programming narrative, they want to suppress, censor, and blacklist and shadow ban. Because they're scared of the truth. But we're in a day and age of Aquarius right now, which is the age of information. Information is supposed to provide transformation. And that's what the shadow powers, hidden hand, unseen hand, shadow government don't want the masses to achieve. It is information to make them better. They want to control the information and regulate the information and limit your growth so they could stay in their power. Because if your growth is minimal to nothing, they stay where they at, you stay where you're at. That is a fire of truth. And nothing but the whole, living, unified truth, my brothers and sisters. Until next time, awaken your mind and get your behind back to the organic, get to that mainframe of Almighty Nature, which is a collective consciousness, the unified field of the divine, the great vine, derived from the vine, which you get your true information, knowledge, wisdom, and supreme natural intelligence from. Listen to reason and listen to wisdom, my brothers and sisters. YouTube has been thoroughly exposed. The acting and stage show gotta stop at the world stage. This game gotta stop. Take control of your own mind. Be your own government. And you learn to be your own government by equipping yourself with knowledge of self. You equip yourself with knowledge of self. Access the supreme natural intelligence, brothers and sisters, and speak the fire of truth always. It's crazy, brothers and sisters. Crazy. Oof. It's like when you think about it, it's just profound. It's just so profound what has happened. Remove 2 of my channels. My given name breaks down numerologically to 22. On the day of Tuesday 2, February 2, the day 22, the year 22, all those 2s, that's when they put me in lockdown again on this new channel. Gave me 2 strikes for 2 weeks. Does that sound like it's pseudoscience and fake to you, brothers and sisters? All those 2s aligning like that? That's the glitch in the matrix. They are manipulating the matrix, brothers and sisters. And they're using the power of 2, the double power of 2, number sequences, all that multiplied into 8, and use it for my division and negative growth rate. You just can't make this stuff up, brothers and sisters. You can't make this up. Anyways, stay sitting at the edge of your seats for more fire of truth be coming shortly. Oh yeah, one more thing. 2022, I wanted to add. The hidden 2 after the 8. What does 9 represent? Because 2022, there's another 2 in there, but it's after the O, right? So let us add that. Let's look at the details of that before we conclude, to add this final piece. In numerology, the number 9 represents completion, as it's the last of the single-digit numbers, which are known as cardinal numbers in numerology, and the highest in value. That said, it symbolically represents accumulation of wisdom and experience, and buzzes with energy of both endings and new beginnings. The number 9 represents completion, as in the last of the single-digit numbers, which are known as cardinal numbers in numerology and the highest in value. That said, it symbolically represents a culmination of wisdom and experience and buzzes with energy of both endings and new beginnings. So, brothers and sisters, you see how they manipulate these numbers and try to make it into a negative for myself? They're trying to create division and prevent the expansion. They're trying to prevent a new beginning of growth. Because as I reach more of an audience, that's where wealth is created. That's where abundance is created. That's where prosperity is created. And that's what they're trying to stop. They were unable to stop the culmination of my wisdom, my knowledge and experience, but they're trying to prevent and they're trying to end the new beginnings of my expansion and growth by turning the number 2 and creating that rivalry, that competition, and that division. They're trying to take away the cooperation, the teamwork, and all of that away. They're trying to use the shadow side of the power of 2 to negate the power of 2 that is all up in me, in my name, in everything that I set up for that day. They're trying to use that power for my negative. And I show this full spectrum throughout this whole construction build in this part 1 and part 2. But anyways, brothers and sisters, enjoy the rest of the day. I pretty much said what I need to say. It is what it is, brothers and sisters. So when I say I'm Supreme Natural Intelligence, the Solar Sovereign Sun, they know who I am. They want to stop. They want to block the skies out. They want to block the sun. Isn't it interesting? They want to block the sun in the skies. And they want to block the sun right before you, right here. Anyways, peace, brothers and sisters, peace. Life itself is your teacher, and you're a constant state of learning. We'll leave it at that. Stay centered as your seats for more fire of truth, Supreme Natural Intelligence coming on both channels. We're going to be going in with lab blazes. Let's go. Enjoy. Peace, prosperity, and well-being to you, brothers and sisters.